Speaking of, I want to circle back to healthcare. What do you think? Should we have universal healthcare or
No,
no?
I don't think so because I look at other countries, right? Like Canada, right?
Right.
They have universal healthcare, but the issue with that is, one, it doesn't like the way my brain works. I'm a capitalist, right? So, I look at the, competition, right?
Hmm.
And also, like, if everyone has universal health care, it's going to backtrack everyone. So what ends up happening is that a lot of patients end up going to, the same doctor,
Yeah.
and things get backed up. People that don't have the money, and versus people that do have money, and then what ends up happening is that someone that actually has money, and needs, a surgery at a certain time. There's so like the wait list gets,
Yeah.
super long. People don't get tended, and people actually die.
I
So
I heard, or in some extreme cases, right? You hear that there's like these panels that determine if somebody's gonna get life saving.
yeah,
But I don't know how true that is. So look, I'm opposed to universal healthcare in America as we have the system right now. Right? We need to know why is it so expensive in the first place. Number one, why are these people charging this an egregious amount all the time? Number two, and what can people do in their own personal lifestyles so that they can live in such a healthy way, right? That they don't have to go to the doctor constantly,
yeah.
right? And the last one is if you have universal health care, meaning, hey, uh, you go to the doctors free all the time, you could do whatever you want. Well, and this is from Tim Dillon actually. This part is not mine, but you can't have universal health care and unlimited pancakes at IHOP. Just it doesn't mix. You can't be allowed to eat whatever you want and not exercise and also get free health care.
Yeah.
So, from a freedom perspective, I don't think universal healthcare should be a thing in that sense because you're gonna have to force people, or you're gonna have to tell people what they can and can't eat. You're gonna have to force people to exercise, and that's the thing. If I was in charge of the whole healthcare system, the first thing I would do is why is healthcare so expensive? Number one, I would find out like what like you can tell me how you know how much a sandwich costs, ham and cheese. Give me a more or less. Throw a number out there for California.
Just ham and cheese.
Yeah, in California, how much you think the
Oh,
sandwich
so
costs?
Cali, we're looking at $8.
Let's say, all right, so, but you can kind of guesstimate.
Yeah.
How much does a regular checkup to the doctor cost?
Oof, like over $100.
Nobody really knows.
Yeah.
Nobody can even come up with a close answer.
I'm just yeah. It also depends where you're at too. What state are you in?
Yeah, so the thing is this. People who want free healthcare don't, for the most, I haven't seen anybody who wants free healthcare exactly living a healthy lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And the other thing is, if I was in charge of the healthcare system, what I would do is I would leverage wearables, right? And then I would say, hey, look, how about this? Before we do anything free, making anything free should be the last resort. The first thing we do is, all right, you exercise according to your Fitbit, according to your Apple Watch, whatever. You exercise this many days, you do this, you do this. We're going to lower your premiums based on the exercise alone. So now you pay less insurance per month because you're less of a liability, right? What do you think about that?
Yeah, they already have that in place when it comes to smoking. I think they charge you more, right, if you consider yourself a smoker.
Good.
But you say it's good, but you have to think about it this way, man. I was also looking at a study, right, a case study,
Yeah.
that they're saying that in the next 5 years, over 50% of America, of the whole entire population, is going to be considered obese.
Yikes.
Over
But that's the
50%
thing.
in America.
But how on earth does that happen? And that's about
You go to European countries, and it's crazy because I have European friends that came over, and they're like, how do you have so many fat people?
that is insane. And you know what the crazy thing is too, right? Freaking, how do people like that's if there's one thing that you're absolutely in control of is your own body. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. A lot of people don't like hearing that.
Bro, like,
And if they do put wearables, like you said, they're going to be like, oh, it's against my right, against privacy, you're monitoring me.
But the thing is, then don't worry. But you're gonna have to pay a higher.
But they want both. They want the free healthcare, and they want to have like
they want to eat whatever they want.
Yeah, the freedom of like destroying their own health.
And it's like no, bro. And then I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was like, I think we should have free universal health care because it'll force the government to regulate what we eat. Otherwise, it'll just drain the government's coffers, right?
But that's just putting the government more and more into your personal life.
And number two, when have you noticed the government would push between a hard place of making a tough decision or printing more money? When have they ever just made the hard decision and not printing more money?
Yeah, they just print more money.
They're going to print more money. Like, if we make universal health care a thing, right, and it comes to the point where people are just eating whatever they want and it's costing the system even more money, an already overburdened system even more money, instead of the government, right now the government doesn't even want to hurt nobody's feelings. The government's not out here saying like, "Hey, yo, start exercising." The government just be like, "Well,
you keep coming to the doctor unhealthy. Keep
it's
eating,
your right as an American.
Keep eating what you're eating.
Yeah,
keep doing what you're doing. And we'll pay for the bill.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll pay for the bill. The taxpayers, man.
And that's when people say free healthcare, folks, nothing is free. When they say the word free, they do that on purpose. If it'll be a different reaction.
Like FDIC, they say it's free, but it's actually covered by the taxpayers. It's covered by bank fees, actually.
Bro, let me tell you this.
That's another thing we'll cover in the next episode.
Let me tell you this. The word free versus taxpayer funded. Those two words are the same thing in government speak. You know what I mean? But when the government says, "Oh, it'll be a taxpayer funded system," now people start saying, "Whoa, wait a minute, taxpayer? I'm a taxpayer. What do you mean taxpayer funded versus it's free?" Well, people think this is free. Unless somebody exchanges their labor and expects nothing from you, it's not free. Just because you're not paying for it doesn't mean it's free.
Yeah. So, using the scenario we just said right now, right, universal healthcare, if we apply that to the educational system, we get the same result. People will just go to school and like drop out, and
it'll raise the prices too.
Yeah, they'll be like, you know what, I could just go back to school. They're paying for it. It's free.
So I'm not against universal free college, though not like 100%. What I am against is before we make anything free, again, we have to find out why is it expensive. Like if somebody says, "Oh, can you pay for this?" and you say to yourself, "Well, why is it this expensive in the first place? Let me see. Show me an itemized list of what you're paying for and why is it so expensive. Let's see if we can get it cheaper." Real quick history lesson. When the government got into the whole idea of college and saying, "Hey, we're going to guarantee these loans," what that did is it increased the demand for college. How did it increase the demand for college? Well, more people were able to get loans to go to school. Well, now you have an influx of people going to college. What does that do? That increases the demand, right? So now it increases the price. Demands go up, price go up, and that's why college is so expensive. That's one of the main reasons college is so expensive. And not to sit here and say that they're not gouging people either and charging crazy amounts of fees for nothing.
So that's the thing, man. If we do try to itemize and try to go to the root problem, the people on top are not going to allow that, man. They're making too much money.
I think there's too much money in the administrative.
Too much money being made.
Yeah, dude.
And that goes for doctors too.
Yeah, dude. And like I would be like, "Yo, look, how about this? You guys exercise and you guys show us that you're eating healthy. We'll lower your premiums. And every time you go to the doctor, it'll be a low. You have to pay way less than some guy who's not taking care. And it should be that way. If you're not taking care of yourself, if you don't care what you eat, if you don't care that you don't exercise, well, then you should pay more than the person who does. Why should the person who does exercise and takes care of themselves? Why should their premiums go up to pay for the people who just don't? And
that's kind of a crazy and dangerous thing to do, because you have to look at America, right? Are the majority of Americans fit?
Not really.
So we have to cater for the majority, right? So we don't have to, but think about it this way: if we do apply that rule, like, hey, you have to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, then we're not going to pay for your universal health care. But if the majority are like, we're unhealthy, we don't qualify for that.
That's the thing, right?
And it comes back down to votes.
And some guy's going to come out and says, "It's your right to not take care of yourself."
So they're going to be like, okay, the majority of the population is unhealthy, and the majority of the population equals votes, and I want to stay in power, so I have to cater to that.
I'm going to make it okay. Yeah.
So it's like, it goes back down to the people.
Yeah, just the whole thing about universal. People just say that word, "Oh, we should have universal healthcare." Well, no, we shouldn't. The healthcare system is already like super expensive as it is.
Yeah.
The same thing as we just said in college. If you have universal healthcare, you just increase. And this drives me up the wall sometimes. We have a shortage of doctors. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. Not many people are doctors the way we would like, right?
And pilots. We'll talk about that next episode too.
Oh, jeez. But we have a shortage of doctors, right? And the medical... You go to an emergency room, you have to wait hours to get taken care of. Yeah. What do you think is going to happen if you quadruple the amount of demand you have for them almost overburdened medical system? The quality of healthcare is going to decrease.
Yeah. They're going to just have to take care of patients without actually, giving them quality care.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah. And I think before we say universal anything, we first find out why healthcare is expensive. We find out why can't people buy health insurance the same way you buy car insurance. We got to find out if we can lower premiums based on exercises, based on what people eat, based on people's lifestyles, things like that.
They should invest more in preventative care.
Why are we investing in preventative care?
Yep.
Why? Why don't we say, hey, look, we're gonna subsidize broccoli, we're gonna subsidize eggs, we're gonna subsidize carrots, we're gonna subsidize all the healthy stuff, so it could be cheaper for you guys to buy it.
But I don't like vegetables.
Well, yeah, but
You're gonna have those people, man.
then tough, man.
And the
Tough.
majority, I think, I would like to hope that the majority of Americans are not like that, but
Bro, think about that. You subsidize all healthy foods, right? And then you quadruple the price of all unhealthy foods.
it's crazy because it's actually the opposite here. And
Yeah.
anything that's organic is more expensive.
Yeah. You quadruple the price of unhealthy food. So if you wanna eat unhealthy, well, you gotta pay more, and you gotta pay more in healthcare, and on top of that,
Do you think they can do that? Do you think they can make organic food cheaper versus non-organic? Or
Yeah,
is there
yeah.
a reason why organic food is more expensive?
I don't know what the reason is, but if we're gonna talk about subsidies, government subsidies, right? Then the government should
Oh, if they go in, if they step in.
subsidize healthier food and tax unhealthy food. The same way we tax cigarettes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And-
that makes sense.
And I think that way you kind of incentivize people to eat healthy food, right? And then now we're getting the ball rolling a little bit, right? Now it's like, all right, if you guys want to participate in this some form of universal health care, we're gonna subsidize a Fitbit for you guys. You gotta wear it all the time, except when you take a shower, right? And we need to see you taking 10,000 steps a day.
Damn, bro, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do that. I don't know
Dude,
if they're-
I just don't. I don't have any other. I just don't have any other solution of what we could think of. You know what I mean? What are you gonna say?
Think about it. People, there's gyms available for people to go to. I don't see someone wearing a wearable that's provided by the government. People are just lazy, man. The majority of people are lazy.
I'm not a big government guy, but I don't see any solution to this. And just to say,
Yeah.
and if you give me a choice between,
Do you think it has something to do with the culture and fast food and all that other stuff? Because we have to see, Europeans supposedly are known for being, either fit or not obese at least, right? We have to see, is it the culture?
I don't know, man. I don't know, right? I don't know. What I can tell you is this, and what annoys me is this: some lady, one of Joe Biden's his Surgeon General, some medical
Someone
professional.
from his administration?
Yeah, I don't know. She's like, oh, kids.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, kids are obese because of the genetics. I mean, look at.
Crazy.
But it's nuts. They'll be like, well, look at the parents. The parents are obese. And look at the kids. The kids are obese. Obviously, it's genetics. It's obviously right there. Like,
That is insane.
ma'am, could it be possible that the parent does not eat healthy, and as a result, that lifestyle trickles down to the kid, and the kid is not eating healthy? You get what I'm saying?
It's just instead of having a caloric deficit, they're just eating more calories and they're just getting fat.
Yeah, and it's like, and you don't want to. You say that because you don't want to hurt their feelings. It's like, yo, sometimes, bro, we're not here for bullying people. We don't think people should be bullied. We don't think, but if you see somebody, there's no such thing as alcoholic positivity, or you know what I mean, or heroin positivity.
But that's the thing that now it's accepted in society right now that it's okay to be obese and unhealthy because they feel attacked, even though it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do about trying to make you feel bad. It's just the fact that it's unhealthy. It's detriment to your health. You could die.
That's something. That's a line that we just gotta draw. We gotta be like, look, man. The idea of being a body, the whole body positive movement, right? The initial idea is like, hey, you look like this. Doesn't mean you should hate yourself. Love yourself. The next sentence of that people probably forget: love yourself enough to take care of yourself. Right? But instead of loving ourselves enough to take care of ourselves, what ends up happening is people just end up just whatever they put. No universal health care until people know how to act like mature, responsible adults who know how to take care of
We
themselves.
also have to have good leadership, man. We have to have people that are actually, guiding us in the right direction instead of saying it's genetic. It's like, no, you're eating too much.
Yeah, dude.
You're eating unhealthy food, and that's why you're obese.
It should be straightforward, right? But
Yeah.
At this point, it's evil, bro. You know what I think it's evil.
Yeah, I think so.
I think every time somebody tries to take something and confuse it and muddy the waters, it's because there's some kind of agenda there that's not good. What is a woman, right? Like those type of scenarios. It's genetics. It's not what they eat. It's genetics. The jab and how it was handled and what doctors were saying and what doctors weren't saying. I think whenever there's people muddying the waters, is there's an agenda that's not good. There's just no question about it. You know what I mean? But yeah. So for the whole thing with universal healthcare, I'm gonna say this, and I think Jay, you agree. I think we should make universal healthcare a thing until right, we find out how the system works. I don't think anybody even knows how the healthcare system works from beginning to end.
I think the people on top do know.
They know enough to make money, I think. Right?
Yeah.
But it's like you go into the doctor, right? He checks. Let's say you don't even get any blood work done. He or she checks, gives you a checkup. Oh, okay, you're good to go. You go home. Well, then you get a bill $220. Now, give me an itemized bill. Is that like the doctor? Obviously, the doctor's going to charge a lot of money per hour. It's labor costs. You know what I mean? All those things.
The lab as well.
If they have a lab, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's another thing too. How much does it cost to get blood work done? We want all that. We want all that on the list, and it has to be a standard across the board. Like, hey, look, or average, right? Because you can walk into a place and you can kind of guess how much a sandwich would be.
Yeah.
Depending on, but nobody knows. And
I think a lot of people are going to be upset if that comes to light, because you're going to see certain organizations, certain corporations
healthcare corporations make money hand over
billions,
fist.
bro.
And so
crazy.
Yeah, dude. Obviously, the best thing you could do. I try to avoid healthcare system as much as I can.
Yeah, same here.
I gotta go for a checkup. I haven't done that. Typical male in a typical male identified fashion.
Yeah, I do get lab work done because it doesn't involve me taking medications. More like, let me know how everything is, versus like, oh, I'm sick or something.
Yeah.
Prescribe me something.
I gotta do that. I gotta do that too, man. And really quickly on the topic of healthcare, when people talk about being depressed, right? Now, I don't like. I hear stories sometimes. Somebody goes through a life event, and they're depressed, and then they go to like a therapist or something, and the therapist prescribes them drugs. Like, whoa, hold on, man. Like, how's that any different than a drug dealer prescribing or an alcoholic drinking, right?
Yeah.
I think the whole thing with therapy too. I don't know how that works, but I feel like depression, right? If you're depressed over a life event, you should not be getting prescribed drugs. All right. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm not trying to, come across as somebody who knows. But if something happens to you and you get depressed about it, that's a natural, normal, expected response.
Yeah.
You shouldn't get drugs. If
it becomes unhealthy when it's prolonged and you keep, you're in that state of mind.
But even as a doctor, if I was a doctor and I'm not, I would recommend, hey, look, go outside more, get more sleep, watch your diet. You know what I mean? If you're depressed and you don't know why, and you have everything good, a doctor should ask, how's your sleeping? Are you getting enough vitamin D? Are you taking walks? Are you exercising? Let's try all that, and if that doesn't work, then we start prescribing something.
Yeah, because they sometimes, what I've seen, they say you have a chemical disbalance in your brain.
Supposedly that was disproven.
I don't know, man. All I know is that they start you with a small dosage, and the next thing you know, you're like hooked to a drug, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't want anybody to be on that without first trying, like the holistic approaches, walking, not drinking, sleeping better, eating better, yoga, things like that. The kind of music I would even say that you listen to, you gotta be careful with that.